this evening, but we do want to turn to this breaking news and get the latest from the Premier of Nova Scotia, who's with us live right now. Hi, Premier Houston. Nice to see you. Thank you very much for making the time.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Really appreciate it.
I wish it were under different circumstances. What can you tell us about the nature of the fire right now? I know those winds have been problematic all day. Are they still a big issue?
Yeah, well, they really are. I mean, we have two major fires in the province right now. We actually have probably about 8 active fires, but 2 that are major and would be deemed out of control. So those are our concern. We have a number of people evacuated, and these fires, they came up quick, and the windy conditions, the dry conditions did really kind of force them, and they expanded very quickly. So it's a major situation, but you know the fire will follow their path. But we have incredible firefighters and first responders on the ground here, some of the very best, and they're working hard at this. They're giving it their everything to get people back to their homes and keep people safe, keep structures safe, but keep people safe. That's the main priority.
Tell me a bit, Premier, about the efforts to fight those fires. I think I had heard early this morning the Deputy Fire Chief say there's about 100 people, but there were water bombers coming from other places. What's the latest kind of on the resources being deployed to fight these fires?
Yeah, so of course the fire close to Halifax here in Tantallon, the Halifax Fire Department is on scene here with a lot of resources, with some support from D&D gear as well. But then the fire in Shelburne, that's our Department of Natural Resources. So we have water bombers that are here. Newfoundland has sent some water bombers over. New Brunswick had as well, but they now have a fire of their own. But we have helicopters in the air, so the air cover is there. I want to thank the premiers from our neighboring provinces, Premier Fury, Premier Higgs, Premier King, stepping up with resources. I've heard from a number of premiers across the country. So it's kind of the Canadian way to support each other, and the mutual aid system across the country, where there are resources that can be moved and deployed, that happens. So anything that can be deployed here, we can certainly use it. But we have incredibly talented teams on the ground here doing what they can to knock these fires back and get people home in the safest possible fashion. But it's a stressful time. There's no question about that.
Is there an ask at all of the federal government? I heard Minister Bill Blair today say that they stand ready to help if such a request is made. Has a request been made? Do you plan to make one? Is there a need for any more federal support?
Yeah, there'll be, there's a request, I think, under the disaster financial assistance, a letter that's started those processes. I appreciate Minister Blair reaching out, and he's been talking to some of my provincial counterparts here as well, but also through the network of, where the provinces deal with the Canadian. There's a Canadian group that deals with the mutual aid across provinces and looks at what resources are available. So that's all working, but the reality is we're going to need some weather to help us fight these fires, and the wind is still strong. The wind is pushing these fires. It's very dry, so we're watching the forecast, but we want to make sure that Nova Scotians know that the people that are fighting these fires, they're dedicated. They are working hard to get these fires tamped back so people can get back to their home in a safe fashion.
Do you anticipate, just before I let you go, Premier, any other evacuations, or is it really still very unpredictable?
It's unpredictable for sure, but the thought process that goes into issuing evacuation order, there's a lot that goes into that. That's a big ask of people. It's done though when it's what's necessary to keep people safe. So on the other side of the coin, when it's time to remove that, there's also a lot that goes into that as well. So we ask people to be patient. It's going to be at least a few days from what we can tell here. But there's a lot of fire activity in Nova Scotia right now, and Nova Scotians should be conscious of that. The minister put a complete burn ban across the whole province today, and we ask people, please respect that burn ban across the province. Of all the fires we had so far this fire season, which is over 180, it's a very active fire season. Those fires, we haven't had any lightning or really any weather activity, so most of those fires will have been started by some form of human activity. It could be accident, could be inadvertent, could be whatever. So the burn ban is really important that it be respected, and people that respect the evacuation order and stay clear of those areas so firefighters can do what they need to do. But we know how stressful this is for people right now.
Oh, for sure. Premier, I'm going to leave it there. I appreciate you carving out some time for us this evening, and we certainly are thinking of everyone affected by those fires. Thank you.
Thanks for having me. Really appreciate it. Thank you.